Yours truly, little one, in this difficult time. I wish I could offer you some words that would be easier on you and your heart. I know this will hurt, but there's a reality I have to tell you. You may be unnerved to your very core at now, the moment you have been dreading. Even if I can't undo what has occurred, I can help you make sense of it all and start to recover after it happened. I realize it will be difficult to hear, but I also know that you are capable of handling this. Even if it's painful to hear, the fact is that you deserve to hear it. That happened last night, and it will affect everyone's life forever. A good friend or loved one of yours committed an unacceptable act. It was more than a slip-up. It was a betrayal that reached an unacceptable extreme. However much you may want to turn a blind eye to what they did, it is impossible to do so. On top of that, I'll do my best to explain everything so you can figure out why and how this happened. Permit me to explain what happened first. Despite how difficult it may be, you must hear the whole account. Someone dear to you committed a heinous and horrific act. Everything that happened stunned and appalled everyone who saw it. It was not some little, private matter that occurred in broad daylight where no one could conceal or deny its existence. In anticipation of a festive occasion, friends and acquaintances had gathered at this location. Instead of a warm and welcoming atmosphere, something sinister and unsettling took over. During the assembly, a terrible incident happened. Someone close to you, someone you believed you could trust, just done something so disrespectful and improper that it rocked the room. Someone you care about very much was raped in an indescribable manner by them. Disregarding the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, they caved in to their baser emotions and acted impulsively. It was not their intention to breach the trust. Rather, they abused the position. They did something completely unwarranted, and the person they injured, someone you care about, reacted instantly. Their response was driven by a combination of astonishment, agony, and the profound invasion of their personal space. Their reaction was lightning fast, and they smacked the aggressor. A required reaction, the smack was more than simply a reflex. This was their chance to stand up for themselves, to regain their pride and honor after suffering through an unjust ordeal. Frankly, I felt justified in slapping him. Although severe, punishment was necessary in light of the recent infraction. It is unacceptable that another person had to go through what your loved one did to them. In that split second, the smack illuminated everything and made the seriousness of the situation very clear. As a response to the unfairness, it was essential to take action to show that this kind of attitude would not be tolerated. Unfortunately, the harm had already been done, no matter how justified that smack had been. The pain caused by that one instant will stay with everyone concerned for a long time. The reality that this didn't take place in secrecy, away from curious onlookers, only adds to the difficulty of processing it all. No one could afford to ignore this atrocity. The whole event was seen by a group of 14 or 15 persons. No one could avoid facing reality. Now everyone may see the truth of what transpired, and it can't be denied. The shock, the treachery, and the violation are all plain to see. You have to ask why on earth they would act in this manner. Who would have guessed that the person you cared about and believed would behave in such a shameful way? They did something horrible and nasty. What could have possibly pushed them over the edge? I wish I had the solution to all of these complicated questions that are probably running through your head right now. However, simple rationalizations do not exist for such actions. Maybe they were swayed by something. Their harmful behavior may have been a result of substance abuse or underlying disorders, or maybe they were under the influence of alcohol or drugs. No matter what motivated them to make this choice, I can assure you that it does not absolve their actions. The things they did were indicative of more systemic problems that need fixing, rather than just an error in judgment. You can't just expect this behavior to appear. Some problems may have simmered for a long time and are at the root of the problem. Their wrongdoing is unaffected by any of it, however. It won't make up for the harm they caused you or the one they caused to someone you care about any amount. Even while you should try to figure out their motivations, you must know that their actions were undesirable regardless of the circumstances. Beloved kid, the worst is yet to come. It hurts to hear this, but the person they spoke with wasn't an unknown bystander. It was not just any old individual they showed contempt for. Someone you care about a lot and are close to was the one they harmed. Tempting a total stranger to your demise is one difficulty. A different matter completely is inflicting pain on someone you're close to, on someone you love. When treachery hits close to home, it stings more. The person they spoke with is someone you know, trust, and have a connection with. I have shared my heart with you. This is the section that, understandably, will aggravate you even more. They did this to someone they cared about, and you may be wondering how they could. Perhaps you are perplexed by the fact that someone you held in such high regard could be so cruel to you. There is no simple or sugar-coated way to answer this question. Tragically, they cause pain to a loved one. This is an agony that is difficult to accept. Still, I'll be your guide through this. We are here to support you through this. Together, we can do this, and I will be at your side every step of the way. At this moment, feelings of betrayal and wrath are normal. If you're feeling perplexed, you could be asking where you went wrong and what other options were available. Loved one, keep in mind that while you have no say over other people's behavior, you do have control over your own reaction. Sorry, but the truth is out now, and it can't be changed. However, the path ahead, the healing process, and the way through this difficult time are all under your control. Will you acknowledge the reality? The only way ahead is this difficult but necessary step. Through thick and thin, I shall remain at your side. We will find out what occurred and get over it if we are together. Truth, no matter how ugly it is what you deserve. Let's take it slow and steady till the truth sets you free. Do you remember a time when someone you cared about profoundly damaged you? A person who was once your best friend, someone with whom you'd shared your life for decades? A profound sense of unease might wash over you. A suffering that makes you question how this could have transpired. Just how could the one person you placed your utmost faith in ever harm you or someone important to you? While you try to make sense of everything, you're overwhelmed by emotions of betrayal, perplexion, and sadness. Maybe you're entertained by the idea. Perhaps they were being rather indirect. It is possible that they were influenced in some way. Perhaps someone else directed their steps in a way they would never have chosen if they were thinking clearly. May I inquire whether you are prepared to reveal the truth? Will you endure the pain that comes with facing this story's fullness? Show your readiness to accept the truth and discover the power to mend by like this video and adding Thai Army as a comment. You are not alone in feeling that you cannot make sense of this situation, my darling. Your mind is attempting to decipher the meaning of the agony and the events of last night. Listen, I know this is hard to hear, but please do so without judgment. You adore this individual. It wasn't someone else's fault that they did it. The darkness wasn't being pulled in by some external power. They were the ones that betrayed you last night, and your heart is broken because of it. I understand that your aim was that their being influenced by someone else was an error. Yet, there are instances when facing reality is much more challenging than we had anticipated. Please grasp this. This wasn't just a passing thought that was influenced by someone else. All of that pent-up emotion has been building for a lot longer than you would think. Indeed, my darling, their actions were not influenced by random chance or anything out of character. Please, my darling, do not. There was no change in their behavior that they wouldn't have shown without the influence of alcohol. Nothing changed about them as a result. What it accomplished was to motivate them to finally do something about the emotions that had been building up inside of them for a while. As an example, at first glance, we could attribute the issue to the alcohol. On the other hand, the truth that was already there was merely made louder by it. They were finally able to cross a line they had been dreading for so long because of the bravery they got from drinking. Unfortunately, we have already passed that line, and now we can't turn back. The truth must be heard by you. No matter how much it hurts me to tell you this. As devastating as the betrayal was, this is the most terrible aspect of the scenario. They betrayed someone they cared about, and that someone is someone you hold in high regard as well. These words are hefty, and I realize that. The betrayal is devastating on many levels, but it's especially hard when the person they hurt is someone you have trusted and cared for much. How is this even possible? Your beloved cannot possibly harm your most treasured possession. A betrayal of this nature slashes further and wider than you ever thought possible. Furthermore, I am cognizant of the fact that this reality elicits wrath, grief, and perplexity. Feeling conflicted, aren't you? A dilemma. Choose between your beloved and your pal. You feel torn between loving someone who hurts you and standing up for what's right. The anguish you are experiencing is real. Right now, I can feel the pain you're going through. Your struggles are not insurmountable, my darling. Regardless of the severity of the wound or the height of the betrayal barrier, I want you to keep in mind that there is always a way to heal. However, healing needs bravery, fortitude, and the ability to gracefully confront and overcome the reality, no matter how brutal it may seem. The question of how to trust again may be on your mind. I don't know how to get over something so terrible. Nevertheless, I can assure you that even in the midst of anguish and despair, fresh starts are always within reach. A path ahead is always there, and I have faith in your strength to discover it. I want you to take action immediately because of it. Join me in fervent prayer for recovery and fortitude, for the strength to do the right thing, even when it seems insurmountable. Let us pray. Together, we can find the courage to persevere through this dark time and bring about a world of peace and justice. Do yourself a favor and declare your goal to heal and find peace by liking this video and typing yes in the comments. It's a little but powerful step towards taking that next step, away from the agony and towards healing. Where the softest waters of the waterfall dance, I humbly shut my eyes and droop my head in prayer, seeking your light that illuminates the depths of my soul. Through the depths of these seas, I wish to find liberation from the one who shattered me. Rinse myself of this anguish. Please, let these waves start to mend. Refreshed and ready to begin again, I feel the power of pure, genuine water surround me with unending love, grace, and serenity, so that my soul may soar. Abounding riches, like rivers flowing into the ocean, may eventually reach me. I pray that abundance finds its way into my life with each raindrop that lands. Recovery takes time, my darling. Neither the speed nor the manner in which we anticipate its completion are guaranteed. You may be certain, however, that the weight will melt away as you pray and get closer to guidance. We shall start to repair your heart. Feelings of weakness will fade away, and you'll look back and see that you are stronger than you thought possible. You may declare that you are on the road to recovery and healing by liking this video and typing yes to claim this prayer. Just keep in mind that in the end, you will see justice done and be able to rest easy. A possibility for personal development is there in every challenge. The possibility of healing exists in the midst of every pain. Have faith in this procedure. Believe in yourself. I have faith in you, even when it seems like everything is collapsing around you. You are cherished. There is assistance for you. Plus, you'll get over this eventually.